Hola, привет, and goedemiddag. I'm back with another lesson in Duolingo in the French for Spanish speakers course, and it's Fe Margena. On the skill subjuntivo, lección 2. Empezar.
Я хочу, чтобы ты запомнил это.
Я хочу. Quiero. Stobi. So I was reading the notes here. Oh, where is it? Right here. Stobi. Conditional to express the idea of some action being required or asked for someone.
Чтобы. Запомнил. Это. Запомнил. Это.
Okay. Recuerdas esto.
Это. Запомнил.
I want you to recuerdas to remember this. Quiero que recuerdes esto. I want you to remember this. I think that's what it means. Recuerdas is, I believe, recordar. To record, but maybe to remember. I'm trying to remember Spanish. Yes, I want you to remember this.
Тебе нужно хорошо учиться.
Тебе нужно хорошо учиться. You need good учиться. I think that's like you need to learn well. Учиться, does it mean to learn? Yeah. Necesitas estudiar bien. You need to study well. Necesitas estudiar bien.
Да, я запомнил эту историю.
Sí. Accent sí. Я запомню это.
Да, я запомнил эту историю.
I remember the story?
Запомнил.
Oh, I'm going to remember the story. Oh yeah, so okay, so present tense. So I'm not future tense, sorry. Future tense. I can't remember a future tense very well in Russian. It hasn't been I haven't absorbed it in my brain. Take a perfective verb and make its present form same as you did with the imperfective. That's very confusing. From Nравится, I think you'll like Tom. Тебе понравится, понравится. Я приду в школу from прийти, prefix perfective variant of идти. So I guess the future tense is basically they're saying they add the pa or pri or the pr prefix is what they're saying. It sort of seems to be the example. This isn't.
Запомню.
Si voy a recordar esta, I think it's esta.
Историю. Историю.
I don't think there's an accent there. Si voy a recordar esta historia. Yes, I'm going to remember this story. I think this means story. In this context.
Историю. Эту. Историю.
Okay.
Тебе нужно хорошо учиться.
Тебе нужно хорошо учиться. Тебе нужно хорошо учиться. Нужно. Please don't have problems with my audio again.
Мои родители хотят, чтобы я лучше учился.
Родители. My parents. I think this is my parents.
Родители.
Mis padres quieren
Хотят.
que that I become
Учился.
Oh, better.
Лучше.
Лучше means better, mejor. I study better.
Лучше.
There should be estudiar is the subjunctive form of estudiar. Mis padres quieren que estudie mejor. Mis padres quieren que estudie mejor. My parents want me to study better. What does that mean? Why would you use better? To study better? How do you study better? I'm actually even just wondering about that, the saying that even in English. How do you study better? I mean, you could study more, but can you get better at studying? It's just something I'm thinking about. It's a very strange thing to say. I want you to study better. How do you get better at studying? I mean, because studying isn't a skill. It's not. It's not like riding a bicycle, or or like learning to handwrite. You can get better at handwriting because handwriting is a skill. But how do you study better? I think that it's better to say, as an English speaker, I would say, I want you to study more. Makes more sense to say to somebody. Like me personally, I wish I could study more Japanese. I just unfortunately don't have the time right now, but I might do that. I'm undecided. Actually, what's going on with me right now is I did the Mandarin Chinese course on Duolingo. And then I was studying the Korean. I was studying the Korean one because I was thinking I might have to go to South Korea someday soon. Plans have kind of changed on that. It was in relation to Taekwondo training, and I was thinking I might have to go to Korea and to South Korea, and so I was studying Korean, and I know a little bit of Korean through doing Taekwondo for so many years because my majority of my instructors were Korean. So we used a bit of Korean vocabulary. So I do know how to say hello in Korean. The polite ways. Well, the polite way is 안녕하세요. If you're friends with somebody, you can say 안녕. And I think the very formal way to say hello in Korean is, I think it's 안녕하십니까. And it's like a question because Annyeong ha means like, are you at peace? Do you have peace? And I guess if you do it as a statement, it's like, oh, peace be with you. That's how they say hello. And it's also used to say goodbye as well, in a way. And to say goodbye in Korean is, well, if you're saying bye and to somebody and they're not going anywhere, you say 안녕히 계세요. And if you say bye to somebody who's leaving, like or if you're both going in different directions, you say 안녕히 가세요. So what's going on with me with like those languages right now is I finished the Chinese, the Mandarin Chinese, and I was doing the Korean, and I've been mildly interested in Vietnamese, and then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm part Vietnamese according to my DNA test results. So I was like, okay, let's study a little bit of Vietnamese. And Vietnamese has actually closer to Cantonese and Taishanese than Mandarin does to me. And then, but I really like Japanese a lot. So I do want to study more Japanese. So I'm kind of in this limbo where I don't know, of the three, Korean, Japanese, or Vietnamese, which one I want to study next. But I do want to get better at Russian, so I said, okay, screw that, I'm going to do some Russian.
Мои родители хотят, чтобы я лучше учился.
Yeah, so going back to this weird phrasing, study better. Yeah. I would probably say things like, I wish I could study Japanese more. I wouldn't, and I wouldn't say I wish I was better. Could you be better at studying something? I don't know. Okay. Anyways, continue.
Скажи папе, чтобы он не курил на кухне.
Скажи папе.
Скажи папе. Скажи.
Okay, yeah. Tell
папе.
your father. Dile a tu papa.
Скажи папе. Чтобы. Курил.
Курил.
Кухня.
Que no
Курил.
fume en la
Кухня.
cocina. Tell your father not to smoke in the kitchen. Dile
Папе.
I guess you could just say dile papa. Yeah, tell dad not to smoke in the kitchen. Dile a papá que no fume en la cocina.
Я запомню твое имя. Я запомню твое имя. Я запомню твое имя.
I will remember. I'm going to remember your name. I will remember your name.
Я запомню твое имя.
Я запомню твое имя.
Я запомню твое имя.
Твое.
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 Я запомню твое имя.
Я запомню твое имя. I'm going to remember your name. Voy a recordar tu nombre.
Мама хочет, чтобы мы хорошо учились.
Mamá quiere que хорошо bien учились.
Учились.
Estudiamos. Учились. I gotta look up that conjugation.
Хорошо.
I gotta look up that conjugation. Okay.
Учились.
Estudiamos bien. Mother wants us to study better.
Учились. Хорошо. Учились.
That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to look up the conjugations for that. Anyways, let's see. Uchilis. Plural past indicative imperfect. Uchilis. Conjugation. So they were saying you had to use this. I'm so confused by this all. Uchilis. Not uchilis. So past tense. Oh, there are no directly linked perfective forms made with suffixes, so they're using this one. Yeah, at some point I need to really go through all my Russian verbs. No, my boyfriend studied a little bit of Russian too, and he did read through one Russian grammar book, and for him, he still finds the declensions a lot harder than the conjugations, for some reason.
Я попросил маму, чтобы она сделала чай.
Я попросил маму, something mom.
Попросил.
Pedido a mama que она.
Я попросил маму, чтобы она сделала чай. Я попросил маму, чтобы она сделала чай. Сделала.
Yeah. Prepared. Okay. Preparate.
Сделала.
I asked mom to make tea. Let's see. Oh, I forgot that. That's bad. I knew there was something wrong. Okay. Okay. Le he pedido. And no, I still don't have coronavirus. Please don't get worried. I actually I have a cat, and I love cats. And I always wanted a cat. When I was a kid, I wanted a cat. Couldn't have one. There was like my mom's rule was no pets in the house. I think we had goldfish at one point, but see, that's not a real pet. It's in an aquarium. So I never got to have a cat when I was growing up. So when I first moved out on my own, after about a year or so, I got a cat. And at some point, I had like 6 cats in my tiny little apartment. Probably a bad thing to do. But anyways, I actually have allergies. I'm actually a little allergic to cats. I'm used to it. I take allergy pills on a regular basis, like daily. So, but I do wake up sometimes really like congested, and so I end up like coughing up some phlegm. But my reasoning for having cats, even though I'm allergic to them, is because I'm also allergic to dust anyways. So I had allergies as a kid anyways, and I used to wake up with like allergies all the time anyways. So I figured, you know what, the benefits of having a cat, a pet that I love, it's relaxing to have a cat. I think they've done studies that sitting there petting your cat is relaxing, and and it creates certain chemicals in your brain that help you feel happier and stuff. So the benefits of having a cat for me kind of outweigh my daily allergies. So anyways, no, I don't have coronavirus. If people are wondering why I'm coughing on stream or something, and it's just my normal allergies. I did buy a thermometer in the weekend, on the weekend, like the very first weekend after we found out that coronavirus was in the Netherlands. My boyfriend and I went and he went and bought a couple of thermometers for us to like help. We should have it anyways. I think it's a good thing to have. But no, I don't have coronavirus.
Я попросил маму, чтобы она сделала чай.
Hopefully I won't get coronavirus. I come from Canada, actually. I come from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and we had SARS. So, I was definitely there when we had SARS. And I actually was doing physiotherapy for my knee at the time SARS was going on. And so I had to go to one of the hospitals to do my physiotherapy. It's a really good hospital, actually. It's one of the research hospitals, and they have a lot of, they do a lot for people in Toronto and Canada, and actually even overseas internationally. So I was at this going into this hospital where there were SARS patients, but it wasn't so bad. I'm like, okay, I still don't get it. And even then, I didn't wear a mask when SARS was going on. I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I'm not around a sick person. I don't have to take care of a sick person. And they had really good measures when I was going to the hospital to do my physiotherapy. So, you walk in the door and you immediately had hand sanitizer right in front of you. So it's like you can't really avoid doing it. I mean, it's a sign right there that says, please, sanitize your hands first. And they screened you. If you're not sick or whatever, they pretty much assume you're not sick if you're going, because you're supposed to stay home if you were sick. And they just screen you, have you been in China recently, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no. So it was pretty easy. And I'm still surprised at all the craziness, and like even my own family's kind of gone crazy with the whole coronavirus thing. And I'm like, my God, you people, we survived SARS. You're fine. I mean, I guess the percentage, the likelihood that you'll get coronavirus is higher than what it was with SARS. And I think that's why people are more panicked maybe this time. I don't remember how panicked people were over SARS, honestly. I was just so busy doing the physiotherapy that I didn't pay attention. So anyways, I think I'm going to be fine. Okay, so this means I asked Mom to make tea.
Преподаватель хочет, чтобы я писал чаще.
Преподаватель хочет. Whoa. Преподаватель. What does that mean? Oh, prepodavatil. Why did I forget that? That means professor. El profesor quiere que ya pisao más a menudo. Pisao right? Yeah. Que escriba más more often. The professor wants me to write more often.
Скажи ему, чтобы он не пел.
Скажи ему. I always forget the pronoun.
Ему.
Okay, so let's tell him.
Скажи ему. Скажи ему, чтобы.
Stop that. Delay.
Пел.
Tell him not to sing. Oh dears. Oh my God. I have a funny story. Since moving here, okay, one of the things about living in the Netherlands is they still have that kind of old-fashioned sentiment where they really want to be friendly with their neighbors. And they actually have a Dutch saying which kind of translates into a good neighbor is better than a far friend. So we have this guy that lives upstairs, and he sings all the time. He thinks he's, I guess, my boyfriend ran into him one day coming back from work, and the guy's name is Dennis apparently, and apparently Dennis, his idol is Frank Sinatra, so I guess his goal is to sing like Frank Sinatra. So I guess he wants to be the Dutch Frank Sinatra, and I'm thinking, but I've heard him sing, like, because he sings, he runs up and down the stairs and he sings when he goes. And I'm like, and he sings up on his outdoor space above us sometimes in the summer. And I'm like, okay, if you want to sound like Frank Sinatra, first of all, you got to get rid of the Dutch accent when you're singing in English. I guess he's an okay singer. I think I've probably heard worse, but I'm just like, I'm not into being, surprise serenaded, especially from behind me. I'm somebody that did martial arts for many years, and in the city I grew up, you gotta have your defenses up, especially at night. And so walking in the front door, belting out a song from behind me is more likely to get you punched or something. I mean, I have more restraint than that. Like, that's what I want to do, but I obviously don't. But trying to surprise serenading me from behind is not a way to get into my good graces. I think he's a decent enough singer, I guess, like I said. But my boyfriend and I joke about trying to get him to stop singing sometimes, especially since he sings these pop songs from like the 80s, that stuff. So, dile que no canta, tell him not to sing, I think is what this means. Скажи ему, чтобы он не пел. Yeah.
Скажи ему, чтобы он не пел.
Скажи ему, чтобы он не пел.
Скажи ему, чтобы он не пел.
Чтобы он не пел.
Преподаватель хочет, чтобы я писал чаще.
Oh, tell him not to sing. Oh. Преподаватель хочет, чтобы я писал чаще.
Преподаватель хочет, чтобы я писал чаще.
Чаще. Преподаватель хочет, чтобы я писал чаще. Oh no, it's starting to stop before I finish.
Начальник сказал мне, чтобы я писала быстрее.
So somebody told me, El Jefe me dijo que ya pisala bistra, que es told me to write more faster, que escribiera.
Начальник сказал мне, чтобы я писала быстрее.
Okay, I think that's right. So is this, yeah, the boss told me to write faster.
Начальник сказал мне, чтобы я писала быстрее. Скажи им, чтобы они здесь не курили.
Скажи им. Tell them. Yeah. Diles que здесь не курили. No woman aquí. Tell them not to smoke here.
Начальник сказал мне, чтобы я писала быстрее.
Начальник сказал мне. Начальник Начальник сказал мне, чтобы я писала быстро.
Начальник сказал мне, чтобы я писала быстрее.
Начальник сказал мне, чтобы я писала быстро.
Ирина Ивановна попросила нас, чтобы мы не курили.
Oh, hello. And bonsoir. Is it evening where you are? Irina.
Ирина Ивановна попросила нас, чтобы мы не курили.
Ивана.
Ирина Ивановна попросила нас, чтобы мы не курили. Ирина Ивановна попросила нас, чтобы мы не курили.
Nos ha pedido que no fumemos. Nos. That's bad. Yeah, okay, so Irina Ivanovna asked us not to smoke. Next.
Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели.
Privetzik? Privetzik. I don't remember a lot of Russian. I'm still learning. I have to look that up. Privyet is hello, right? Privyet. Okay. So why say privyetik instead of privyet? I don't think I've never seen it, like the difference.
Сказала.
Que oni no necesita.
Ночью.
Oh no, it's not true.
Ночью.
Oh, I was getting confused with something else.
Ночью.
Hold on, not
Не
no.
пели.
Okay, no. Cantana
Пели.
por la noche.
Они ночью. Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели.
Look at this.
Сказала. Им. Они ночью не пели.
Скажи им, чтобы они здесь не курили.
Скажи им, чтобы они... Скажи им, чтобы они здесь не курили. Ah.
Не курили.
Не курили. Скажи им, чтобы они здесь...
Скажи им, чтобы они здесь не курили.
Скажи им, чтобы они здесь не курили. Здесь не... No! I'm having a lot of problems with the speaking today. For some reason. Okay, I'm gonna start it over. I think I might just turn off the audio, the pronunciation practice today because I'm having trouble with my allergies and my throat. This little.
Я хочу, чтобы ты запомнил это.
Quiero que
Запомнил.
recuerdes esto. I want you to remember this. Next one.
Да, я запомнил эту историю.
Sí. Voy a recordar esta historia.
Мои родители хотят, чтобы я лучше учился.
Mis padres quieren que, yeah, this one is estudie mejor.
Учился. Лучше. Да, я запомню эту историю.
Yeah. I'm just gonna skip that for today. Continue.
Преподаватель хочет, чтобы я писал чаще.
I mean, I don't have. I'm not opposed to doing the speaking practice on Duolingo. It's just actually when you think about it, sometimes it just like detracts me from like you can do that later on as you get better with the language, and I feel like sometimes I just like to learn more of the words and the grammar. Quiero que llene ya que escriba. They gave me something weird before. Escriba? No, okay. Que escriba more often. The professor wants me to write more often.
Скажи ему, чтобы он не пел. Скажи.
Dile, tell him, dile que no cante.
Пел.
Tell him not to sing. Tell Dennis not to sing. Okay, that's being mean. I mean, how is he going to get better at singing if he doesn't practice? So we're not really going to tell Dennis not to sing.
Мама хочет, чтобы мы хорошо учились.
Quiere que
Учились.
I wish they just, when I do the hover over, I just want the hover over for the one word, not for everything, and I wish to break it down a bit. Because, okay, чтобы is just like que, and I know what this word means. This means we, and this means good or well. I just need this one.
Учились.
Bien. Mom wants us to study. What?
Учились хорошо.
Mom wants us to study well. Isn't it something about studying better and studying well? And it doesn't make sense to me.
Тебе нужно хорошо учиться.
Citas. Estudiar mejor. We have to study better. You have to study better. Right, what did I do? Oh no, bien. I'm getting distracted by the. My brain is not working now because I'm getting distracted by the whole study better and study well. Okay, concentrate. Stop thinking about that part of the lesson.
Я запомнил твое имя.
Voy a recordar tu nombre.
Запомнил имя твое.
Скажи папе, чтобы он не курил на кухне.
No, wait. Dile.
Скажи папе.
Yeah, I just want to check that. Dile. Stop that. This is getting painful for me today. I don't know why. Que one. Que no fume en la cocina.
Курил. Скажи ему, чтобы он не пел.
Tell him.
Ему.
Yeah. Dile que one. No. Tell him not to sing.
Я хочу, чтобы ты запомнил это.
Quiero que ti
Запомнил.
que recuerdes. I want you to remember this.
Я попросил маму, чтобы она сделала чай. Попросил.
Que le pedito a mamá que Ana que prepare tea. Asked mom to make tea.
Я не хочу, чтобы они сейчас пели.
No quiero que сейчас pele. Canton? Ahora. I don't want them to sing now.
Пели.
Canton.
Пели.
Yeah, okay. I don't want them to sing now. Скажи ему, чтобы он не пел. Пел.
Преподаватель хочет, чтобы я писал чаще.
Professor quiere que escriba
Писал чаще.
más. The professor wants me to write more often.
Тебе нужно хорошо учиться.
Necesitas
Учиться.
estudiar bien.
Хорошо. Тебе нужно хорошо учиться.
Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели. Им, сказала.
I told them.
Им.
I tell them. Okay.
Пели.
No. Can.
Пели.
Taran. Por la noche. I tell them
Пели. Не.
not to sing at night.
Мама хочет, чтобы мы хорошо учились.
Mamá quiere que estudiamos.
Учились.
Estudiamos bien. Mamá quiere que estudiamos bien.
Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели.
Я сказала,
Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели.
чтобы.
Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели. Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели.
Ночью.
Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели. Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не
Yeah.
пели. Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели. Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели. Не пели.
Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью. Oh, actually, I spelled that wrong. Ночью. Я сказала им, чтобы они ночью не пели. See what I got wrong. Okay, this part was right. Я сказала им, чтобы они ночь. That was tricky. It looked like the other thing. Yeah.
Мои родители хотят, чтобы я лучше учился.
Mis padres quieren que
Учился.
estudie mejor. My parents want me to study better.
Ирина Ивановна попросила нас, чтобы мы не курили. Попросила. Нас.
Nos.
Попросила. Курили.
No fumamos.
Ирина Ивановна попросила нас, чтобы мы не курили. Скажи им, чтобы они здесь не курили. Им.
Que no fumen.
Скажи. Им. Скажи.
Tell
Им.
them
Чтобы.
que
Они. Здесь. Не. Курили.
no fumen. Tell them not to smoke here.
Начальник сказал мне, чтобы я писала быстрее. Начальник.
El jefe me dijo que
Писала. Писала.
escribiera
Быстрее.
más rápido. El jefe me dijo que escribiera más rápido.
Начальник сказал мне, чтобы я писала быстрее.
Escribiera.
Писала.
The boss tells me that told me.
Сказал.
Yeah. Actually, me dijo. Why is it this and this is I don't know. There's something weird about this. Told me to write faster.
Сказал.
I think this is he tells me. Isn't that he tells me? Oh no, it is past tense. Dijo. Dice. Dicen. Okay.
Да, я запомню эту историю.
Voy a recordar esta historia.
Запомню. Историю эту.
Yes, I'm going to remember this story.
Я не хочу, чтобы ты курил в моей квартире.
Quiero que in me.
Хочу,
No quiero
чтобы
que fumes.
Ты.
Fumes.
курил. Чтобы ты курил. В
In me. Apartamento.
квартире. Квартире.
Apartamento. I think this can also mean.
Квартире.
Oh, is it a part? But it also means room. That's what I thought. Quartere also means room. We'll get to that in a second. Continuar. Yay! Finished. Oh, that was scary. I was worried I'd have to spend like more time restarting and trying to get through it. Okay. 10 puntos de experiencia and 5 puntos de experiencia. And yes. Okay. Next. Continuar. Okay. 7%. I think I have one more lesson in this skill. But it kind of hurts my head for some reason. Quartiere means apartment, but it also means room, right? So I'm thinking habitación also means room in Spanish. So, like, oh, no. Can you, that was funny. No, can we switch this to Spanish? There we go. Yeah, because this also means room. So, I think you could translate that, going back and forth with Russian. Komnata.
Комната. Комната.
La habitación.
Komnata. Oh. Okay, so maybe quartiere only means really? Okay, fine. I just look up some pictures then. Quartiere. Okay, I guess it's the whole apartment. And then let's look at habitación. I don't know. Confusing, huh? Habitación is a room, but I thought it also meant oh dear, it's confusing. It was just something I was just thinking of. Okay. Okay, I think that's my Duolingo lesson. I think I'm going to... Oh. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I've been doing Duolingo for a long time. So, I subscribe to a little bit each day. Basically, I have it set to 10 experience points a day, and so that's basically one lesson a day. But there are a lot of people that actually have ridiculous streaks. But there are some. If you go to duolingo.eu, actually, you can see all the different streaks on there. But there are some impossible streaks that couldn't have happened because the number of days is more than Duolingo has been around, and so why is this not working? Okay, there you go. Yeah, they're saying like these people have impossible streaks here because Duolingo hasn't been around that long. I think this one is like 40 years, and that's not possible. So some people have more than 7 years. 6 years is totally possible, I think, but and 7 years, but definitely not. How many years is that? 3295. I'll just get my calculator. I don't want to do math right now. 3295 divided by 365 approximately. That's like 9 years. Yeah, these are not possible because Duolingo hasn't been around that long. I don't know what the smileys are on Twitch. What is that smile? Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I like cats, actually. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I am actually gonna take a break and just refresh that, and I'll just open up a new one here for that. I'm actually just gonna go take a break. Okay. So, but let's see. Let me see if there's any. Let's see if there's any other Duolingo streams right now, and we can go. Go maybe host or I don't know. I'm not sure how the raids really work. Maybe we can go raid or host. Let's see. Anyone on my? Oh no. Who's Mellow Black? I guess we could pop in just to see. I don't know. But I'm gonna go offline. Just for a little bit. I'm gonna come back later and play some Assassin's Creed. Alright, let's just go. Oh no, that's hosting. How do you. Okay, let's try this. Something weird happened. It's not working. Oh, it's up here. Why am I... Okay, well, let's try this. I don't know who this person is, so hopefully they won't get offended at us rating. I guess I can preview it first. Can I preview it first? Oh, I can preview first.
Good night.
What did I just do? Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I think I might have.
Good night.
I think I might have accidentally clipped something. I don't know.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay, I guess we could start the raid. Let's see. I don't know. They have some background music and somebody, some animated talking in the background. It might be a little distracting.
Goodbye.
I don't like having that when I'm learning a language necessarily. Well, I used to study Duolingo and just listen to music in the background, but here, let's try this. And I don't know how to do this, so hopefully that works okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we can go now, and I think we're supposed to say a nice message or something, but I'm not sure how to do that. So maybe just say hi. And let's see how that works. Oh. Oh. Okay, I'm not. Okay. I see. Okay, Japanese. Oh, am I actually still live? Wait, how can I still be live? I'm guessing I might actually have to actually after I raid I have to sign out, go offline myself. Okay, I think maybe I have to say, but I'll have to sign out now. So, I will be back later. Alright, well, I guess I have to actually end my stream, so I will be back later with some Assassin's Creed Odyssey, hopefully. I need to eat some lunch, and hasta luego, Do vstřiči and tot straks. See you all later.